Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Adventures of a Real Estate Investor. I'm Suzy.
Now, Michael, and we're excited you joined us for this adventure.
So today's guest is us, Suzy and Michel. And we're so excited that you are listening to us today. And really what we wanted to talk about today is just we wanted to send our thanks above and beyond, like from the deepest of our hearts. The podcast launch was phenomenal. We just really appreciate all of your support. Really, that's what it is. And what I learned throughout this journey, and this was like a mindset shift for me, is like, what does support actually mean to me? And who do I need to be looking for it from? And I want to just talk on this a little bit, is just because with impact, some of our ideas can seem so big and so large that when we talk about it with others, they might say like, oh no, that's too big. That's not something you can do. Like, why don't you try something else? And so how to bring this back to support is that when you are getting those kinds of answers, you're just talking to the wrong people about it. I promise you, you will find your tribe of individuals who will support you and be your biggest cheerleaders. Yes. Is it a little bit of a blow at first when we're expressing our ideas, like to the people who we thought were the closest to us, and they weren't excited? You know, that's a really heartbreaking feeling. But what I can tell you is that we're just looking for support in the wrong places. You have people out there who will support you. You have people out there who will be excited about your ideas. It's just looking at them in that light, right? Everybody sees excitement differently. Everybody sees impact differently. But I promise, no matter who you are out there, you were born to make an impact. So just find that tribe that will support you and will follow you, because they are the ones who will help you grow and succeed. They're the ones who will help you with that mindset shift, help you with those limiting factors. They will be there for you and they will help you more than you ever thought. So once again, just thank you everybody for all of your support, because it really helped push us forward through this.
Absolutely. And so another thing that we want to touch on, that I want to touch on, because we've been getting a lot of inquiries about this, about our morning routine. So Suzy and I wanted to quickly dive into what we do and share some books that we've read that might help you in your morning routine as well. So first of all, obviously The Miracle Morning is a great book to start with. Specifically, if you're an entrepreneurial spirit like Suzy and I, The Miracle Morning for Entrepreneurs, which is co-authored, so Hal Elrod and Cameron Herold, huge fan of Cameron. So if those two wrote The Miracle Morning for Entrepreneurs, so highly recommend that book and go and check that out. So with that, Suzy and I have kind of adapted our own miracle morning, if you will. And so what we do, we wake up every day around 5 or before 5, and we come downstairs and immediately we make our coffee. I make coffee, and then I start reading immediately. And then that during reading, that's kind of where I started getting the creative juices flowing, started thinking, my gears start turning. And then, the reading fuels that fire, right? And gets me going for the day. So we read, we both read. I mean, I'm a slower reader than Suzy, but I read about 10 pages per day. She probably reads like 100 pages per day or something like that. But so we read at least 10 pages per day. And then after that, we scribe. So when we scribe, we write down one inspirational quote that's, that kind of sums up the theme for the day or whatever theme you're going for that day. Inspirational quote. And then 3 things that we're grateful for, whether that was what happened yesterday or just this entire week or whatever. And then also 3 goals you have for the day. Mm-hmm. And then we wrap it up with our affirmations. So very detailed affirmations with numbers and figures and dates when we want to accomplish things. So don't just write some lavish, affirmation down. Your affirmation shouldn't say, I want to be a millionaire someday. Write down, I want to be a millionaire by this certain date, and this is how I'm going to do it, right? So like that kind of affirmation, very quantified and with a date, an end date in mind. Let me go back to the goal setting real quick. So the 3 goals for each day. What Suzy and I do, we could talk about this in another podcast episode where our goal setting retreat, but every year we have an alignment. We sit down and write down our goals, and then we write down our year goals. We write down our short term. So those are end year goals. We write down our short term goals, which are like to be accomplished within 3 to 5 years. And then we write our long term goals down, like 7 to 10 years down the road. And then from there, we make sure that our short term, medium term, and long term are all in alignment with each other. And then we get to the 1 year, and then we break that down into quarterly goals. And then you can break it down to quarterly goals, and we break it down to monthly goals. And then we break it down into weekly and daily goals as well. So we make sure that when we read each other's journal to each other, because that's one thing, after we're done scribing, we read it to each other. We share with each other the inspirational quote, the 3 things we're grateful for, the 3 goals and the affirmations as well. We share that out loud to each other. And that keeps us accountable to each other and allows us to make sure that that I'm aligned. So Suzy keeps me in check, that I'm in line with my monthly, quarterly, yearly goals. And I also keep her in check and make sure that she's aligned with her goals as well. But that's a very powerful tool that keeps us on the right vector every single day. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So after we do our scribing, and then we go ahead and we meditate. We meditate for at least 10 minutes. So if you listen to Adam Carswell's episode, he talks about, in order to go fast, you must slow down, and the power of meditation. So if you haven't checked that out, it is a previous episode, and they'll link to it down in the show notes here. After meditation, then we exercise. We need to earn our breakfast before we eat it, right? So we exercise. We try to exercise 6 days a week is what we try to aim for. And so after exercise, then we come back, we make breakfast, we eat breakfast, and then we go about our day. So that is our modified miracle morning, if you will.
Yeah, and I mean, even just to add to that is that like everybody's is different and will suit their own lifestyle and journey. So remember, like whatever works best for you is what you need to do. You might be somebody who wants to meditate way longer or read less or exercise more. It all just depends on your lifestyle and where you're at. And that's the truly important part, is that you need to do what works best for you in order for it to work. And one of the books that Michael and I listened to, actually, which was just phenomenal, was Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. And in that book, but I mean, there's so much to pull out of that. But one thing that he said that truly, truly stuck out was that a ceiling is a man-made object or structure. And what he means by that is that there is no cap to our growth. We limit ourselves by what we've been taught growing up, what we learned from our employer, what we learned from our partner, our parents, friends. Like, it's a man-made object. There is no cap to the potential that we all have. And that's why that's so important, even with our podcast and talking about impact, is that there is nothing that is too big. There is no idea that is too small. Impact is impact. It doesn't matter how you do it. As long as you are feeling the effects and somebody else is, that is all that matters. So remember, like, ceiling is a man-made structure. You're the only one who can limit yourself. And that's exactly what the point is. Man-made. We make our own limitations when we don't need to. So just push past that. I know you got this. Michael knows you got this. We are here for you. I promise. That's why we're doing all of this, because we want everyone to cultivate these phenomenal, phenomenal ideas. And this works perfectly that we are going to have this episode come out on July 1st, because we're already halfway through the year. Like, that's amazing. For one, the year went by so fast, but like, start thinking about those ideas, because the second part of the year is going to go by super fast. And then the first part of 2022 is going to go by really, really fast. Just starting the idea, it will grow. Once you plant the seed, it will grow. So I promise that you can come up with some amazing ideas during the second half. And something that Michael and I have also been growing is our YouTube channel. And I will have Michael talk more on that. But we are super excited for this as well, because just as being previous educators, we want to continue to try to create content for people every way, because we're talking about the concepts, we're videoing the concepts. Like, let's just bring it all together and make this great space. And we are so excited to talk more about that.
That's right. So before we move on to the YouTube channel, though, I want to highlight a couple of things that Suzy had kind of mentioned here. It is July 1st, right? When this episode is coming out, it's July 1st. That means Suzy mentioned it's halfway through the year. So what I challenge you to do is sit down, reach back to those goals that you set on January 1st of this year, your New Year's resolutions, whatever goals you had set. Take a look at those. See how much growth you've already done in 6 months, and just sit back and reflect on that and see how amazing that is. So I will tell you one thing, like Suzy and I set some pretty ambitious goals at the beginning of this year, and we've crushed those goals already. And now we need to revector. And so I know you've crushed goals as well that you set on January 1st. So now it's time for you to revector as well. Revector for the rest of the 6 months, right? See how much you've done already and then revector yourself. Also, if you set a goal and your plan to get to that goal hasn't worked out, don't remove the goal, right? Rework that plan. Rework that plan, and now is your time to do it. July 1st, 2021, go in and rework that goal that you want to accomplish by the end of the year. You can do it in 6 months. I guarantee you. Never lower your target, always increase your actions. That's Grant Cardone right there. Anyway, so let's get on to the YouTube channel. So Suzy and I are very excited to launch this. We have launched the YouTube, the podcast. In the podcast, obviously, we talk about impact, and we interview amazing people and talk about the impact that they're creating through leveraging real estate. And now we want to share the video version of that with you on our YouTube channel. In addition to focusing on the different ROI, the return on impact, we also want to share with you, our audience, also specific real estate targeted videos, like short videos, like 2 to 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the most, that are geared towards real estate investing, specifically multifamily syndications. And then we also want to share mindset videos and also interviews that I do with other people as well. Just like, fireside chats that I've had with some people, and we're starting to roll those out as well. So be on the lookout for those. So our YouTube channel launches today, July 1st, and we are going to deliver for you all. We have 48 videos uploaded already on our YouTube channel. So go check it out, The Adventures of a Real Estate Investor, and we'll link to that in the show notes as well. So you can go there after listening to this podcast or watching this or whatever, and you can subscribe. So every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday, we'll be releasing videos. So Tuesday is going to be the video episode of our podcast. Thursday is Suzy's going to chat about mindset or any other thing related to real estate investing, specifically multifamily. And then I will have a little chat with you and deliver some content on Saturdays that will be strictly geared towards real estate investing, specifically like lending and asset management, things like that. We also have 2 mini-series that we're releasing on the day of our launch as well. We have an acquisition checklist mini-series. So we walk you through from pre-LOI all the way through closing on your first apartment building or your 10th apartment building. We walk you through our checklist, and so that you can then copy that and make sure that you don't miss anything from pre-LOI all the way through closing. And then we also have a asset management mini-series as well. And that's basically 10 tips that I give about the lessons we've learned so far in asset management. We want to share those with you. And so we'll be releasing other asset management videos as well, but those 2 mini-series are already available on our YouTube channel right now. So please go check those out, like and subscribe to videos that you love, and comment. Drop some comments below in our YouTube channel to tell me and Suzy what videos you would like for us to do next.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Again, like I said before, like as educators in the space, like Michael and I truly want to serve others in that way. So if you have any suggestions or if there's something you want to see, we would truly love and appreciate that feedback. And we just can't wait, to, I guess, serve to the people who watch YouTube, and if when you're listening to this, if you think like, oh, I'm not somebody who's going to watch YouTube, but someone who would find value from it, please share it with them. Like that support in itself means so much to us, and we would just greatly, greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, so I know we typically do the 4 questions we ask every guest at the end of the show, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to ask Suzy some questions. She doesn't know this is coming, so you might throw her off a little bit. But I have one question for Suzy, actually 2. The first one is, Suzy, what are you looking forward to doing this summer if we're able to travel? What is the number 1 place you want to travel to this summer?
The number 1 place I want to travel to, I want to go to Portugal. That's where I want to go. That's where we're going to go. It's where I want to have my wedding that I haven't had yet. So we'll see. But yes, absolutely Portugal.
Portugal, nice. The second question is, what book are you reading currently, or what book have you recently read that has completely changed your mind, had a mind shift for you?
This is the hard one because I really like so many of them. Really, it's just who, not how. So, I probably read this about like 2 months or so ago, but what I want to hone on it is that like as entrepreneurs, we want to wear all hats because that's what we're used to at the beginning. But that's what we're then comfortable with. So we have to get out of our comfort zones in order to grow. And when you start to find the who's for your business instead of you figuring out the how's, that is truly how you will grow like and scale. So just remember that is that like we're not meant to be like acquisition specialist, investor relations, social media expert, video editor, all of the above. Like in order to reach more people and create more impacts, we have to let go of some of those jobs and just feel the uncomfortable every once in a while.
That's right. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope that the tips and other ideas that we share with you really resonate with you. And if you have any questions, feel free to always reach out to us. You can find us, contact us through adventurousrei.com/info. Everything there is our contact info. Please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to chat with you via email or a one-on-one through a Zoom call or something like that.
Absolutely. So until next time, explore more. Adventure awaits. Woo!